Selling gold. Selling gold is often a one-time decision made under pressure, and that is exactly why clarity matters. Understanding how pricing works, how buyers evaluate gold, and how offers differ gives you a major advantage. The key idea is simple. The more structured your approach, the better the financial outcome. Knowing how to compare buyers, how to read formulas tied to the spot price, and what testing involves removes uncertainty. Instead of guessing or relying on instinct, the process becomes logical. Every step, preparing inventory, contacting buyers, and observing testing, adds control and transparency. When you understand how the system works, you stop reacting and start making informed decisions. Why process matters more than luck. Many sellers assume price depends on timing or chance, but the real difference comes from method. A seller who contacts only one buyer will almost always receive a lower payout than someone who compares multiple offers. Buyers operate with margins, and those margins vary. By requesting formulas linked to the spot price and insisting on transparency, sellers immediately improve their position. A structured process turns a stressful situation into a measurable one. Each step, calling multiple buyers, documenting offers, and asking clear questions, creates leverage. The result is not random, it is predictable. Sellers who follow this method consistently receive stronger offers, avoid vague pricing, and feel confident about their choice. The difference is not luck, it is preparation and comparison. Goal: a fair price in 90 minutes. Speed matters, but only when combined with clarity. Within a short time frame, it is possible to move from uncertainty to a confident decision. The process begins with identifying the spot price and preparing a precise list of items. Next comes contacting several buyers within the same time window, ensuring fair comparison. Testing performed in front of you confirms authenticity and eliminates doubt. The final step focuses on the net payout, the actual amount received after any costs. This is the number that matters. When all offers are evaluated using the same criteria, the strongest option becomes obvious. Selling gold then becomes structured, calm, and controlled. The outcome is not just a financial result, but also peace of mind. You walk away knowing the decision was rational, the price was fair, and the entire transaction followed a clear and transparent process. Who buys gold in practice? Different types of buyers operate in the gold market, and understanding their role is essential before making any decision. Specialized bullion dealers, jewelry stores, numismatic houses, and pawn shops all approach gold differently. Each one evaluates value based on its own business model, margins, and target customers. Some focus on investment-grade coins and bars, others on melt value, and some prioritize speed over price. Recognizing who you are dealing with immediately shapes expectations. It becomes clear where transparency is highest, where testing is most professional, and where payouts are most competitive. The moment you understand the landscape, the selling process stops feeling uncertain and starts feeling strategic. Best choice for standard gold. For standard investment gold, such as 1 Oz coins or recognized bars, specialized bullion dealers usually provide the strongest offers. Their pricing is directly tied to the global spot price, and their formulas are clear and measurable. Because their business revolves around investment metals, testing is efficient, and payment is typically immediate. This creates a predictable environment for sellers. There is less ambiguity, fewer hidden deductions, and more consistency in evaluation. The focus is on authenticity, weight, and purity, not subjective factors. This is why experienced sellers often begin their search with bullion specialists. The process is faster, the pricing is easier to compare, and the final payout is often stronger than with general buyers when to choose others. Not every piece of gold fits the bullion category, and that is where other buyers become relevant. Numismatic houses are designed for rare and collectible coins, where historical value may exceed melt price. Jewelry buyers evaluate based on purity and weight, using melt value as the foundation. Pawn shops prioritize speed and convenience, which may be useful in urgent situations, but often results in lower payouts. Choosing the right buyer is not about preference, it is about alignment. The type of gold you own should match the expertise of the buyer. When this alignment exists, testing becomes smoother, negotiations clearer, and the final decision easier. The entire transaction feels more logical because expectations are realistic from the start. Sellers who recognize these differences avoid frustration, reduce risk, and improve their financial outcome. Instead of guessing where to go, they approach the market with purpose, selecting the buyer whose model best fits their goal. This clarity shortens the decision process and increases confidence at every step. The 90-minute plan overview. Selling gold becomes far less stressful when the process is broken into clear time steps. The idea is not to rush, but to move efficiently with structure. Within a short period, a seller can go from uncertainty to a confident decision by focusing on three priorities: understanding the spot price, contacting multiple buyers, and comparing net offers. This approach keeps emotions out of the decision and replaces them with measurable data. Instead of relying on instinct or urgency, every step serves a purpose. The more organized the process, the easier it becomes to identify which offer truly delivers value. Prepare before calling. Preparation determines the outcome long before the first phone call is made. Knowing exactly what you own, coin types, bar weights, purity, and condition creates credibility and speeds up conversations with buyers. At the same time, checking the current spot price in euros provides a benchmark for evaluating every offer. Without this reference point, numbers have no context. Buyers may present figures that sound attractive but are difficult to compare objectively. A simple inventory and a current market price turn the conversation into a professional exchange rather than a guessing game. Preparation also reduces hesitation. When details are clear, decisions become faster and more confident. Compare and decide. Once several offers are collected, the focus shifts to comparison. The goal is not to choose the first available price, but to identify the strongest net result. This means evaluating formulas tied to the spot price, subtracting any analysis or transaction costs, and understanding payment timing. Some offers may appear higher at first glance but include deductions that reduce the final payout. Others may offer slightly lower percentages but provide immediate payment and transparent testing, making them more reliable. The key is consistency. Every offer must be measured using the same criteria. When this happens, the best option stands out naturally. The decision no longer feels uncertain or pressured. Instead, it becomes the result of a structured evaluation. Sellers who follow this method avoid common mistakes, save time, and achieve stronger financial outcomes. The process is simple, logical, and repeatable, transforming gold selling into a controlled and informed decision rather than a stressful experience. How to call buyers effectively. The first conversation with a gold buyer often determines the tone of the entire transaction. A clear, structured call signals professionalism and immediately changes how the discussion unfolds. Stating the exact item, quantity, and condition shows preparation and confidence. It removes uncertainty and allows the buyer to respond with precise information rather than general estimates. When communication is direct, conversations become efficient and focused. Instead of vague numbers and assumptions, the discussion shifts toward formulas, testing procedures, and payment terms. This approach places the seller in control from the very beginning and reduces the risk of miscommunication or rushed decisions. Questions you must ask. The quality of an offer depends on the quality of the questions asked. Knowing whether testing is performed in front of you, whether analysis costs apply, and how payment is handled reveals how transparent a buyer truly is. Buyers who provide clear answers signal professionalism and reliability. Those who hesitate or provide incomplete explanations introduce uncertainty. Asking about formulas tied to the spot price, the validity of the offer, and potential deductions ensures that every detail is visible before any decision is made. These questions are not confrontational, they are standard in professional transactions. They protect the seller and establish a clear framework for comparison. The more precise the questions, the easier it becomes to evaluate the credibility of each buyer. Avoid vague offers. One of the most common mistakes in gold selling is accepting approximate pricing. Statements like, Around this amount or rough estimate create confusion and prevent meaningful comparison. Without a formula tied to the spot price, there is no reliable reference point. Clear offers are always expressed in measurable terms, such as a percentage below spot. This transparency allows sellers to compare options objectively and calculate their expected payout. Documenting every response, from formulas to payment timelines, further strengthens decision-making. When everything is written and structured, emotions and pressure lose influence. The process becomes analytical rather than reactive. Sellers who insist on clarity avoid hidden deductions, reduce uncertainty, and gain confidence in their final choice. Instead of guessing which offer is best, they rely on consistent data and logical evaluation. This discipline transforms a potentially stressful interaction into a controlled and professional negotiation. Using a comparison table. When multiple offers start coming in, clarity becomes essential. Relying on memory or rough notes is not enough. A simple comparison table transforms scattered information into a structured overview. Each buyer's formula, testing method, payment timing, and potential costs should be written down side by side. This visual comparison immediately reveals differences that might otherwise go unnoticed. Some buyers may appear competitive at first, but small percentage variations or added analysis fees can significantly change the final payout. By organizing the data, the decision shifts from emotional to analytical. The table becomes a decision-making tool that removes guesswork and strengthens confidence. Evaluating net value. The most important number in any gold transaction is not the quoted price, it is the net amount you receive. Calculating net value means applying the formula tied to the spot price, multiplying by the quantity, and subtracting any additional costs such as analysis or transaction fees. This step exposes the real financial outcome. Two offers that appear similar can produce noticeably different totals once deductions are applied. Payment speed also plays a role. Immediate SEPA transfers or same-day payouts reduce uncertainty and risk. Evaluating net value requires discipline and attention to detail, but it ensures fairness. Instead of focusing on marketing language or friendly communication, the decision is based purely on measurable results. This objectivity protects the seller and leads to stronger outcomes. Choosing the winner. After all numbers are calculated and compared, the strongest offer usually becomes obvious. The winner is not necessarily the buyer who sounds the most confident or promises the fastest deal. The winner is the one who delivers the highest net payout with transparent testing and clear payment terms. Consistency and professionalism matter. Buyers who provide formulas tied to the spot price, allow testing in front of you, and communicate openly create trust. At this stage, the decision should feel calm rather than rushed. The structure of comparison removes doubt. When everything is evaluated using the same criteria, the logic speaks for itself. Choosing the winner becomes straightforward because the process has already filtered out weak or unclear offers. This method ensures that the final choice is not influenced by pressure, urgency, or vague promises. Instead, it is based on measurable value, transparency, and reliability. Exactly what a professional gold transaction should provide.